So, hi there, welcome to the archives. I hope this is working, the volume, the audio. Um, so today we're talking about like some problematic rulers, much like I was thinking like Batman is like seen as a hero, but Loki also very problematic. But yeah. So Zenobia lived from 240 to 274. So they only lived for, do the math, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is that? 34 years. Yeah, 34. I'm counting with my fingers, just to let you know. So they were born, Queen Zenobia was born in Syria, in the Palmyra region, I believe. They did trade with China at the time. They had client kings. It was no, some said that she was Christian, others said that she was Jewish. Um, when Alexander Severus died, remember Alexander Severus came into power. That was Emperor Elagabalus's cousin. So when Emperor Elagabalus's grandmother had him replaced with his cousin, eventually in 245, Emperor Severus died, and Oniathus came into play. That was Zenobia's husband. So the next emperor was Zenobia's husband. So therefore that made her a queen, right? Um, this is in the Antioch region. They were assassinated by a cousin. Okay, so Zenobia was a skilled politician. It says that she was militant. She ruled like manly and feminine. So not only was she a queen, but she actually was also a warrior. She's a warrior queen, Zenobia. And she broke from Rome. She had coins made after her. She had a lot of easy victories, it says. She was going to battle and just winning left, right, and center. And so it kind of made her a little bit cocky. Although it gave her false sense of security, is what it said. So she was heading the military. She was winning. She came up against, I believe it was Emperor Aurelian, um, Aurelius. I can't read my own writing. One of the emperors. Um, and she had to fake his death because she didn't want her townspeople, the people she was ruling over, she didn't want them to know that she had lost, and so she faked Aurelius's death and and paraded a fake body through around town. Like she had somebody fake to be or a dead Aurelius and paraded the fake dead body around town so her constituents would think that she had actually killed them. But he wasn't dead. So they showed up eventually and people were like, wait, he's alive? And she's like, oh, my bad, I lied to you. And so, yeah, basically she got captured, right? Eventually she was captured. She wanted to share power with Rome. Uh, and at first she fled off. She said the female camels were some of the fastest. So at first she fled off, but she was eventually captured. And then, so when she was captured, they took her back to Rome. And you see how when Jesus was getting crucified, they paraded him through the city. The same thing happened with her. They brought Zenobia to Rome, and they paraded her as she was walking through the town. But it said people had never seen somebody so beautiful, and she was wearing. They put her in a lot of the gold and jewels from Syria so that the townspeople could see how much wealth Syria had and that Rome was now getting all of this wealth from Syria, right? Like, so she was wearing all of this gold and just beautiful. She was just anointed, and people were like, wow, she's so beautiful. Typically, once people have been captured, and just like what happened to Jesus, once you've been captured and you've been paraded through, you're gone. They execute you. You're dead. Tell me how she survived it. She survived it. Like, nobody knows, but she was spared. Um, she was spared. She was a linguist, so she spoke 4 languages. I didn't write down which languages she spoke, but she spoke 4 languages. Aurelian, he didn't like her at first. All of a sudden, he liked her. So he spared her life. She didn't die. Not only did she not die, but she ended up getting a villa. So he gave her a villa somewhere, I believe Syl was in Italy. She married a senator. She lived a nice life. And it is said that Catherine the Great, which is a warrior, which is a Russian, was a fan of Queen Zenobia. So I just wanted to share that. This was, again, somebody who was married to an emperor, became a queen, but was also intelligent in her own way. She also went to battles. She led the military. She was a warrior. So Zenobia was a warrior queen who, in the end, they couldn't, like, she did not end up getting executed. She didn't get beheaded. Um, she got spared, right? So I look at her, that to me is true alchemy, right? When you, from going from getting captured and about to be literally to living in a nice villa, married to a senator, living a life of luxury, even though she probably had more luxury when she was a queen herself, still, right? It's better than dead. So that's a little bit about Queen Zenobia. The rest I already went through. I kind of rushed through Hypatia, um, but maybe I can get into her a little bit because it's 6 minutes. So Hypatia, this is Alexandria, which is in Egypt at the time. They had a huge library, and the sign there said the library was the place of the cure of the souls, which as a library girl, I love that. I love that so much. But basically, let me see. Hypatia's dad was Theon of Alexander. He was a writer. But at that time, they had like um, mathematicians and inventors. Euclid was the father of geometry. Claudius Ptolemy was a geographer. So she was around all of these intellectuals, right? Her father was an intellectual writer, brilliant. It said that she had greater genius than her father. She was a public but controversial figure because she was a woman. She was brilliant. Her dad started teaching her early. She was skilled at sciences, geometry, astronomy. The calculations of heavens. It said that Copernicus, who was the one who said that the sun centers the universe. It said that Copernicus was inspired by her, which I think maybe Loki meant that he stole her stuff. I don't know, but she was an inspiration to Copernicus. She created the hypometer, which showed her technical skills. She loved philosophy though, right? At that time, philosophy was considered the queen of the sciences at the time, which would be laughable now because philosophy is seen as like a pseudoscience, right? In this day and age, it's not like a real science. No one really takes philosophy serious other than like the real ones who know. Um, so yeah, it's basically she wanted to make the supernatural present in the natural world. It gets into Plato's allegory. Um, what else? Yeah, basically she was really smart. I'm just gonna leave it there. It gets into like all of the philosophical stuff. Um, but basically, at some point, um, Theodosius declared paganism illegal, and it was only Christianity. And then at that same time, the Roman Church was born, right? And so she was arguing that the Roman Church, that Christianity was actually really compatible with the sciences that they were talking about. Right? It's paganism is really no different, is what she was saying. Um, in the beginning was the Word, is what Christians believe in, and the Word was God. I think theirs was like one, there was a one, and then there was a word, and then there was a world soul, right? Which is similar to the Bible. And so basically, she was arguing it's not that different. And she kept on doing her thing. She kept on teaching philosophy. She would walk around teaching people philosophy, Plato, Aristotle. She was teaching all of that, right? People didn't like it. There was a particular bishop who learned about her, and he did not like her, right? The bishop did not like her. The bishop was jealous of her. He had taken her to a church So at one point he was walking by a house and it was lively and like all everybody was having fun and he was like, "Who lives here?" And they said Hypatia, and he got mad. And so the bishop, Bishop Cyril had Hypatia taken to a church where she was stripped naked and her flesh was ripped away by like seashells or cross something. Her her skin was literally just skinned and then burned. This is Christianity. A bishop had an intellectual at a church killed and skinned. So that's how she died. That's how she was murdered. Um, yep, that's basically it. So, um, that's all I wanted to say. Cyril didn't have any real consequences at all. Like people were just like, okay. If anything, he might have been celebrated. Oh, and this happened during Lent. That was the gag. The bishop had her skinned at a church during Lent. So yeah, and then they burned the remains of her body. Everybody blamed Bishop Cyril for her death, for inciting the violence, but he had no real consequences. So that was pretty much it. That was pretty much it. So yeah, that was um later on. Yeah, that's all. So that's Queen Zenobia and that's Hypatia. So yep. Who are some wild women that you're into or you've read about or you know that I should know about that I haven't listed so far? Again, there's 36 of them. I've only gone through 14. So as I go through, I will probably come and share some more with you. Okay. So until next time, in solidarity.